Well,
we don't have a... What's a Q&A without a moderator?
you may have one of your detox chooks with jail. Shut up.
By the way, there's a new Defiance release called The 7 Sayings of Tony Curran.
Oh my God.
Don't. Well, this is PG-13.
Let's tell the people what they really want to hear. Let's not talk about me.
But you usually think everyone wants to hear about it.
Why don't you tell the good folk like you did at Dragon Con what room you're in?
Oh, yes. That was an unfortunate story. What happened there, Jesse? What was that?
It ended quite happily, though, didn't it?
Several times.
I'm still unconscious.
Hey, he was awake for some of it.
It's because I was telling a story that how this is the difference between Jim Murray calling me Niles Pottinger versus Tony calling me. So Jim calling me, I'd answer the phone, I'd see it was him, and I'd say, "Oh, yo, what's up?" And he would answer, "Yes, hello, yo, what is happening? What is up? Yes, hello." Very British. And then I'd see Tony was calling me, and I'd answer the phone like this, "Yo, what's up?" And he goes, "Hey, bitch, it's Daddy."
Family that plays together, stays together.
Your mother's away for the weekend, so let's have a night out on the town.
My mother being my TV wife, Jamie, of course. How did I give my room away? What happened?
I don't even remember how.
Well, you got off on a rant right after that, and mind you, there was a good 2,000 people in the room, and he went off on a rant trying to excuse the horrible things he says to Jesse when he calls him up. And he was like, "Oh, I called. Oh no, you're thinking.
No,
you called the wrong number."
I called the wrong. Oh, that's right. I was given Tony's wrong room number, so I wanted to tell him I was in Atlanta. So I called this room that I thought was Tony's room, and the guy picked up, and I was like, "Hey, bitch, it's Daddy." And the guy was like, "Excuse me." I'm like, "Well, wrong number."
Who is this?
And so the very next words out of Tony Curran's mouth were, "Well, you didn't call me because I'm in 502."
I'm not in 504, I'm in 502. Who says I'm not there now? Truth cuts deep.
This is a different country.
It is?
We're not in Defiance anymore.
I'm in Kansas now, Sonny. Anyway.
Yeah, so we've all been shooting in minus 20 degrees weather.
The coldest February on record.
Thanks for the weather, Canada.
Canada, we love weather.
Spring is strong, guys.
What's that? Do you know what? This is what's really cool about this panel is I think we've got more people at home than we've ever had, because Julie Benz is the only American on the show in the kind of first 7 in the cast, and so even when Julie's with us at any con, we only have one native from wherever we are, one person who was born in the country that we're in.
Beg your pardon?
Canadian. Go, Habs, go. Oh, sorry.
So we actually have almost a majority this time around.
Yeah, where's
Mr. Graham Greene in the house.
Good to be here. I'm exhausted, you folks. I don't know how you guys do this.
Did you see him yesterday, all dressed in suited and booted and a beautiful jacket? Today he's like, he went for comfort.
Hell of it.
Yesterday was like The Godfather, today it's like Rocky.
I feel like I've gone 15 rounds.
With Apollo. So it's actually cool, because we got, like, it's rare that we have people who actually live here. And this is the first time I think we've all done a panel where we're shooting.
Yes.
We haven't done a panel in Canada before, so this is really fun for us.
Thank you. So any ideas of what we should do with this season? Because we're in the middle of shooting it right now. What's that?
Yes. We
Fix
need
him.
to shave.
He's dead!
Everyone's dead in sci-fi.
What is this, being human? We can't bring him back.
We broke Tommy.
Listen, somebody has to keep Kenya company.
No, she didn't.
And Mayor Nikki's in hell, so...
They're playing in a better place.
We knows? Tommy might come back as an Indogene or something, you know? Who knows?
I know, I love me.
Black African.
The weird thing is even when people come and go from like on air on our show, they don't stop hanging around. When was the last time you two saw Duchesne? Like
Yesterday?
yeah. So we're all still together. The band stays together.
Yeah.
He's my gym instructor, actually. He texts me, he goes, "Hey Tony, you want to crush it?"
Why, you have such creepy conversations with everyone. I just call out like, "Hi, shall we meet at 5?" You're like, "Hi, this is your daddy. You want to crush it?" I'm like, "You call me." I would hang up. Please don't talk. Why did I email you?
Tony just called me and he tried to, he wanted to go out, and I was saying, "Oh look, I was just shooting all day, like in -20, I'm exhausted," and he goes, "Oh, dry your eyes, try working with your mother."
That's a term of endearment, and sometimes it's what happens in the tar house stays in the tar house.
Hey, buddy, keep digging that hole.
Tony, I'm
Where's
just
your
trying
shovel?
to make you a better actor. I'm just trying.
You better keep trying, honey. I need all the help I can get, But she didn't say I'm trying to make you a better husband.
What do you want to know?
Yeah. Next question. You haven't asked the question yet.
Well, we haven't asked them to ask a question.
Oh,
Yes, love.
Will there be more rain in season 3?
Rain?
Ren.
Oh.
Rin.
I was going to say, we just got rid of the snow. We don't need any rain.
Yes, we're filming in Scotland next season, yes.
Give us a break. I just want one day of sunshine. I don't know at this point. Can't tell you that one.
But
Sorry.
we're actually not even halfway through. We're
Yeah.
almost at the halfway point.
We're kind of approaching in a few weeks, yeah. So, but we're not even, as James says. So, possible one, as they say, somewhere.
Si possible. Huh?
We had a lot of loose ends to tie up from the last season. So those storylines, that were left as cliffhangers. The third season kind of you plow into those. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for coming back for season 3.
Thank you.
We have no choice. We would come back season after season if given the choice. But actually, we need to thank you because we wouldn't have a third season if you guys weren't watching. And you must watch the third season, and then we'll get a fourth season.
Yeah.
So thank you.
So I want to know, given the last season, how it ended, it changed everything in the power dynamics of what's left of Earth. Are we going to be exploring more of this in the new season?
Very much so, yeah.
We're all terrified to give things
To
away, so I'm not going to speak.
I'll say one thing which I think I'll be allowed to say, but anyway, the producer's not here, so just don't tell him I said that. The Earth Republic was a really fun thing. That regime was really fun for us to explore. It was a very repressive regime, but they were getting pushed out at the end of the last season. And what I would say is that although they were repressive, their control kept status quo, and this season the absence of that presence means that Defiance becomes even more lawless and even more of a dangerous place to be.
I love that concept.
And a lot of there's some very interesting new characters that have joined the cast, and in many ways there's some new aliens, there's some new humans. They're very much catalysts for touching all of Jesse, sort of Alec, Amanda, Nolan, all of our nerves. So these new characters that come in are great foils for the drama of the show, and really.
What's your point?
It really does help the story.
Doesn't he
To have a
sound?
point.
Do you know when Tony talks, I always think of him as the defendant.
I'm staring into a bowl of alphabet soup.
They're all not wanting to give away any spoilers.
Yeah.
I was trying to be ambiguous.
I'll tell you because I don't really really care what they do to me. It can't be any worse than Nolan wakes up covered in snow in minus 35 degrees. So what are they going to do to me? Send me to Australia?
No, that's what the English did to you.
That's what the English
You go to Australia and think about what you did.
Let's just have a quick look at the English, all right? They're all still there.
I thought we were talking about Defiance.
So Earth Republic's gone. It's had its day, it's run its course.
New York was destroyed.
New York's destroyed, so they as a power no longer exist. So what we've done with season 3 is, although it was kind of interesting on an academic level to explore that whole idea of totalitarian regimes and Defiance is a bunch of kind of people who are really after freedom, it was all a bit of an abstract in season 2, quite frankly, and it was great, but it was more of an intellectual discussion than anything dramatic that happened. So what Kevin and the writers went back and did in between seasons was they wanted to come up with something that was a far more immediate, dramatic, and visceral way to continue the same conversation about self-governance and freedom and what is democracy and what we want. And so this season it's a lot more bloody, I can say. That conversation about freedom. It's a lot more immediate. It's far less, like governing councils and committees of people, and it's a lot more at the point of a sword. And we do introduce some new characters. They're all very dangerous. There's no more Niles Pottingers. They're not going to kill you with manners anymore. They're very, very, very...
I fancy Amanda.
Nolan, I fancy Amanda. I don't care, go away. So it's very, very dangerous, very immediate. They're all immediate physical threats. So Defiance has become very dangerous again. And one really positive thing about the winter, by the way, is the Badlands is really, really bad again. Yeah, from the first moment you turn on Defiance in season 3, just looking at the show,
It's beautiful. It's actually, the snow is beautiful.
Yes,
right?
it looks
It's
great
so
on
beautiful
camera.
on camera.
And we're really proud of the environment we get to shoot in all truth, because the world that this place lives in again now looks deadly. It looks like if you get stuck out there for 4 hours, you're gone.
Yeah, if you see Stama looking terrified and freezing with snot and tears running down her face, just know that I'm not a good actress. Actually, I was just frightened and cold with snot running down my face. That's basically my character for season 3.
Just a question mainly for Jamie. You seem to have a lot of fun playing the manipulative characters. You started out as this crazy manipulative in Dexter and manipulative, but with a heart when I was 13, and now you're just playing.
Yes.
How much fun do you have playing this part?
Too much fun.
Especially when she gets in the tub with Graham Greene, but that's another story.
That was just joy.
That was
just joy. But no, I'll often, a lot of those scenes where I let that mask drop completely. I don't really do it with the humans, but my Alak and Datak see it a bit more now. Stunner's a bit more authentically awful with them. And we'll be doing the scene, and I'll go to Jesse or Tony. Should I do this? Does that make it even weirder? They're like, that's awful. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. So yeah, short answer is it's a lot of fun.
So going back to the tub,
Everything goes back to the tub.
Yes.
Oh yes, the
a
tub.
lot of makeup, and how does it stay on when you're in there?
It doesn't.
It doesn't stay on.
No, but just to to enlighten you on how hard it is to take the makeup off at the end of the day. We're in these scenes, and miraculously the makeup tends to stay on when we're in the underwater. And so at the end of the day, we can't just splash some water on our face and go home. It's this whole other process of trying to get the makeup off.
Yeah. And asking, other people to get it in places that you can't reach. It's rather humiliating.
During season 1, I was shooting Being Human at the same time, and I'd go from one set to the airport to fly to Montreal, and I'd get onto the Being Human set, and I'd still have like a white ass.
What's wrong? I just want to know who noticed. What were you wearing at the airport? That's what I want to know. What were you not wearing?
He's from Montreal.
Killed.
Right, they're a weird cast. That.
So they were basically looking at your derriere the whole time.
It wasn't at the airport. It was for
Maybe it
fun.
Maybe it was the club lounge. Things, you know, yeah.
I don't want to know what you do outside the walls of Defiance, Jesse, you know.
Only your father is allowed to corrupt you. You know?
Who's got another? Who's got a question? Yes, love.
How long does it take each of you to get into makeup?
Me, 30 seconds.
It's incredible. This is Graham Greene. Yeah, like he doesn't look anything like himself right now.
It takes Grant a minute because sometimes they'll speckle some dirt on him and they'll do this.
Yeah, my guys are on a timer. I walk in and I go, right, okay, you've got 3 minutes, I'm bored. And then I'm out the door.
Lucky humans.
That's like he says when he makes the love as well.
That's twice in a nap.
At the end of the day, they just get in the car and go home.
Yeah.
I think Jamie had an Arissa Stephanie Leonidas because she has to wear that prosthetic piece, and the lovely Trena who plays Doc Yule because she wears. Sometimes her call is 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, why not just stay up? You know.
I did once. I just stayed up the whole time.
It takes me 2.5 hours just for stammer in a dress. But when I get into the bath, sometimes I'm in it for like 5.5 hours before we've shot anything. And then sometimes I'll get there, and if they're shooting other scenes beforehand, I'll arrive to rehearse, and they're like, okay, we're going to lunch. And I'm like, but I can't pee. And I'm like, oh, just stand like this for lunch, huh? Naked in my room.
There's some new characters in season 3, and their wardrobes are so complex that they need to literally be screwed into their.
Yeah, they're basically sewn.
Yeah.
Just like being human, Jesse.
They're new, so they don't know how to say to the costume designer, no, I won't.
What happens when nature calls and the costume designer's like, nature? What is that? What is nature?
She's from Montreal as well.
I am creating nature. We have a very creative bunch of people, and they all, what they all love about the show is they're allowed to explore very fully their own craft. And as Jamie says, sometimes you've got to say to them, not going to happen.
Simonetta, our costume designer, is obsessed with, I'm like, well, that's amazing, Sim, but how are we going to do it up? She's like, well, we're just going to lace you up the back. Well, like, so then they get these tiny little holes, and at first I was like, oh, that sounds great. It takes like 45 minutes with somebody lacing up, and you're kind of like at the beginning of the day. But what the worst thing is, at the end of the day, everybody kind of is like, okay, we're done. Everyone like runs off, and then you're like stuck in this kind of corset or this collar piece, and nobody wants to take you off it.
When they tried to weatherproof Stephanie, who plays Arissa at the end of last year because it's starting to get cold, the answer that wardrobe came up with, I'm shellacking wardrobe today, but anyway, was they sewed her in. And the poor kid was there like, Grant, I can't possibly pee. I said, I don't know what answer you want from me, kid. I don't know, I'll do it for you. I'll go ahead.
Well, okay, well this is more information than I should share, but the last bath scene that I did, there was, we kind of created this latex thing that covered everything, and I was kind of stuck into it, and I said, listen, Sim, I don't know if I want to do this, because last time we did this, you know, when I came to taking it off, you know, I basically, you know, it was covering all my delicate parts, and I basically waxed all my delicate parts. It was not comfortable at all. So she said, oh, no, it's going to be fine. We're going to put Vaseline on. I tested it on my arm, at the very area arm, and it's completely fine. Anyway, so she did it.
Recording this for later.
She did it.
Does anyone have a pen?
And then And then somebody said, oh, you know, they're ready for her, we have to rush. And then she did the bikini bottoms and she forgot to put the Vaseline off. And then she left for the day.
So then I stepped in.
Anyway. Sometimes in the writers' room, they do get carried away back in LA. And they write all these, you know, sex scenes. And for season 1, you know, Amanda and Nolan. Sometimes the scenes of Datak and Stammer, and it's like, you know, Datak pushes her up against the wall, he rips off her top, he rips off his top, he pulls his, you know, whatever, and we're like looking at each other,
look, we need
sewed
20
into
people
these.
to get out of
we
this
need like an hour and a half to get undressed.
Is he going to spend 45 minutes unlacing her collar piece?
The Dress, for example. Crazy video. Who saw Black and Blue?